By definition, a nice person is someone who shows kindness to other people and, in return, everyone likes them. Now, I'm sure most people know about the actor behind Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., and the controversies he is facing. At the end of the video, one can stake their opinion that Robert Downey Jr. is not a nice person. But before we get into it, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell button to be notified whenever we publish a new video. Robert Downey Jr. has established himself as one of Hollywood's most bankable and well-paid actors. His importance to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or MCU, is no joke because he played the role of Iron Man. With his talent and wit, he became the face of it for more than a decade. Starring in blockbuster comic book films such as Iron Man and The Avengers, he gained the support of many. Almost everyone now believes that Robert Downey Jr., in the lead part, an actor who has grown associated with his MCU character, is the most important reason for the success. However, it wasn't easy to cast him. The actor was not well known at the time and was chosen by director Jon Favreau. It was very difficult not because of a lack of ability, but rather because of his drug and alcohol abuse past. In a Rolling Stone interview, director Jon Favreau stated that Marvel flatly refused to employ Robert Downey Jr. Marvel said that under no circumstances were they willing to hire him for any price. The director, who had battled long and hard, had phoned the actor and informed him that he had done his best and used up all his resources, but that it was a shame he was going to have to stop it there. Downey, on the other hand, had persevered and succeeded. Now Iron Man has paved the path for a multi-billion-dollar franchise that has received widespread acclaim from fans. He gained numerous plaudits and an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor in 1992 as the title character in Richard Attenborough's Chaplin biopic. But at that time, Downey had indulged in substance abuse. This debunked his impressive film ventures, from the violent media satire Natural Born Killers in 1994 to the costume drama Restoration in 1995, because of his repeated run-ins with the authorities and public battles with drug addiction. One of the disturbing incidents was when an intoxicated Downey wandered into a neighbor's house and passed out in a bed. Downey was sentenced to 3 years in jail in 1999 after frequently failing court-ordered drug tests, but only served a year in the California Substance Abuse Treatment Facility and State Prison, Corcoran. Another was when Downey was spotted barefoot and walking around Culver City, California in 2001 whilst on parole. He was detained on suspicion of being under the influence. As a result of the event, he was dismissed from his position on the TV program Ally McBeal, as well as numerous film and theatre roles. Instead of being sent back to prison, the now broke actor was ordered to rehab. His addiction was said to be because the Downey family has a history of both the show industry and addiction. Robert Downey Sr., the cult director, struggled with substance abuse and allowed his son to try a sample of marijuana at the young age of 6. According to a 1996 People story, narcotics helped a father and son form an emotional relationship. Downey is said to have become a daily drinker as a result of this. With this, during the British leg of actor Robert Downey Jr.'s Avengers Age of Ultron press tour, things took a turn for the worse. When asked about his controversial past, the actor walked out of an interview with Krishnan Guru Murthy of Channel 4, subsequently referring to him as a bottom-feeding muckraker. Downey said to the radio host Howard Stern that he didn't regret his decision of storming out. He even called the journalist a syphilitic parasite. Furthermore, Downey has been named as difficult to work with during his collaboration with MCU. Gary J. Tunnicliffe, a special makeup artist, effects designer and director, has said that working with Robert Downey Jr. in the MCU is difficult. According to Tunnicliffe, Robert Downey Jr. is getting a beautiful cleanup job right now, and everyone thinks he's the most adorable, fluffy bunny rabbit in the world. However, he has heard stories from the set of Iron Man that Downey was a tough person and a terrible co-worker to deal with. Tunnicliffe said that Downey is aware of being the face of the franchise and he is treated differently than many of the other performers, and he knows the influence he holds. Tunnicliffe also asserted that the filmmakers working with the actor recognize this, which is why he must be appreciated. He also stated that Downey is the elephant in the room. and he understands how to wield authority. Another controversy that the famous actor faced was that it was reported that he was paid a whopping $75 million to appear in Avengers Endgame. It prompted concerns about equal rights and compensation on social media sites. Downey, on the other hand, has always been among the highest paid performers in the MCU, earning more than Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Chris Hemsworth, and others. He has featured in 9 films for a limited amount of time, as well as a cameo in a couple of others. Fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe apparently care a lot about who Robert Downey Jr. follows on Instagram, even after his last appearance in the hit films. And after seeing that he is no longer following his co-stars on his verified Instagram account, fans are wondering about his future in the movies. It is because, although his character's destiny appeared to be sealed in 2019's Avengers Endgame, fans had hopes that Downey as Tony Stark, one of the original Avengers, would return to the Marvel Universe in some form that would surprise them. The cast shouldn't take it personally though, because Downey, who has over 50 million Instagram followers, currently follows 43 individuals, none of whom are actors. He appears to be utilizing the account to promote causes close to his heart, such as his Footprint Coalition. On its website, the group is characterized as a network of investors, contributors, and storytellers dedicated to growing technology to repair the world. During the beginning of the MCU, if the shared superhero universe, which is the first of its type in cinema, was to continue, the film's success was crucial. Because of this, its popularity was excellent news for everyone. Every significant character in the film went on to become a staple of the MCU except Terrence Howard. He played Tony Stark's friend James "Rhodey" Rhodes. Although his performance was praised, the role was eventually replaced. From Iron Man 2 forward, Don Cheadle replaced his role. Later on, the character evolved into a superhero and an Avenger. This sparked the fire because Howard accused Downey of pushing him out of the MCU films. When he accused his Iron Man co-star of having a role in his departure, he didn't mince words. According to Howard, Downey was offered a large pay rise for the sequel after the box office success of Iron Man, with the option of having it distributed among the original cast members, but he chose to keep the majority of it for himself. According to Howard, in a 2013 appearance on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, Howard said that when it came time to re-up for the second one, the guy he helped become Iron Man stole the money that was meant to go to him and pushed him out. People approached him with the second, and he said he would pay him 1/8 of what they had agreed to pay Howard because they believed the second one would succeed with or without him. What do you think about these qualms, facts, and arguments? Do you agree that the face behind Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., is not a nice person? Feel free to comment on your thoughts, claims, and opinions below. And before leaving, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications on our future content. With that being said, see you in the next one.